Hey y'all, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast, where live music and great stories take center stage. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Teton Guitars. Whether you're picking tunes around a campfire or taking the stage at your favorite honky-tonk, Teton Guitars delivers rich, soulful sound built for the journey. Learn more at tetonguitars.com. Now let's dive into some music and memories. Hey, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast. I'm your host, Byron Duff, and I am here with Mr. Jarrod Morris.
That's right. What's up, everybody?
Hey, man, thanks for coming and taking the time. I know you've been out on the road for the last couple of weeks. Started out where? In Colorado, didn't you? And then kind of worked your way to Washington and back down around. So
Yeah.
you were out for how long?
I think we've been out for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
We started in Grand Junction, and we played the high school finals rodeo in Craig.
Okay.
Then we made our way up, went Washington, all that. We were in Seattle a couple nights ago, and then played a private event here in Boise last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was good. Pulled an all-nighter driving from Seattle to get here on what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, to get here on Tuesday. But
Yeah, today is Wednesday.
yeah, so we got some sleep last night. Though.
Got a little bit of sleep last night. Well, that's good.
Hey,
Well,
it beats the heck out of shoeing horses, that's for sure.
Well, and that's what, I mentioned to you before we got started that you are a bit of a man of mystery,
Okay.
but I do know you're a horseshoer. And I actually went to horseshoeing school in Oklahoma City 45 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so if I could shoe a horse today, but it'd probably kill me because I'm
Yeah.
fat and out of shape. But
I feel you on that.
I have a lot of respect for horseshoers. That's I didn't become a horseshoer to become a horseshoer to make a living, but I dang sure fed my family over the years at times when I really needed it,
Oh,
and it was
very
a
good.
great skill to have.
Yeah.
But that's tough work.
Yeah.
I did it to become a better horseman. That was my goal.
Interesting. Well, most of the horseshoers need to become better horsemen. It'll force you to if you're open to it. A lot of guys just lose their temper.
Sure.
And they end up kind of whooping on them. I have no problem with getting after one.
Sure.
I don't do like. I try to treat them like humans almost. Like if you bit me, I'd probably punch you in the face.
Right.
If you kick me, I'm going to kick you back.
I
you know.
agree.
So
I
it's like,
totally
but that's
agree.
kind of where I draw the line.
Well, they're a little bit like children. They need to be reprimanded occasionally.
Yeah.
And they need to learn some manners.
Yeah.
And I've been around horses all my life, and so I tell people when I interview them, if they can relate. But I picked up a guitar and a rope at the same time at about 15, and I stayed with the rope and put the guitar down.
Sure.
One, because I couldn't keep the damn thing in tune because I don't have a very good ear. But loved the music deal. Have always loved it. It's been something that my wife and I have done, and so. When I found myself suddenly and unexpectedly retired, I decided to start a podcast last July.
Sure.
So, because it fit, right? It worked in our wheelhouse. It's what we love, and we love to travel, so we connected the two. So we named it Musical Miles Podcast for a reason, because we've traveled lots of miles for music. So, but I think that's really cool that you're a horseshoer. But I want to know, when did the music start for you? Was it before the horseshoeing? Because you learned to shoe from your brother-in-law.
Yeah. The music, I don't know. It was always a part of life, and then geographically, where I grew up in Texas.
Now you live in Decatur.
Correct.
Is that where you grew up?
Yeah. So in the North Texas area,
Okay.
like there's a little town called Gainesville.
Oh, yeah,
And then
I
I
know.
went to high school in Decatur.
Okay.
So Decatur's my home. I mean, like all my best friends are all from there. And,
Sure.
And then
That's cowboy country.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't. Nowadays, like everybody's a cowboy, And
It's cool to be.
Well, it's
cowboy
kind of
now.
the urban cowboy thing going on right now, which is cool.
Sure.
But yeah, you can't last real long bumping your gums around there until you get somebody calls you out.
no.
Well, and I will say that like it's cowboy, but it's definitely rodeo cowboy.
Right. Isn't that Trevor's up in that neck of the woods,
yeah,
and the Cooper Bowl?
Yeah, and but there's people all over the country that are like out working on ranches and stuff, like doing day to
Cowboy
day,
stuff.
like super cowboy stuff.
Right.
And like I know a lot of people in Wyoming and Montana
Sure.
and stuff that are freaking. That's
Well, we
cowboys.
talked
they
briefly about Chancey. Chancey's the real deal, man. He grew up on a ranch, and we got to sit down with him.
Chancey would make me look like a little baby boy.
He's
He's
cowboy,
a stud,
and
he's cool too. Though, like he's not constantly trying to like
one up you.
Yeah, or just, push his chest out too much.
Sure. No, very humble. And it was interesting because when we talked to him, because they're big sheep guys.
Yep.
And they
run a lot of cattle too.
They run a lot of cattle, but he's not ashamed of those sheep at all.
No, he leans into it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because he and I have turned out to be really good buds. And so we were hanging out in Nashville, I don't know, a few months ago or something. And somebody came up to us. Of course, every time I'm there, you a real cowboy? It's always funny too. Like, I guess I can appreciate it in a way. The people that are not like in our world at all,
right,
are oftentimes like the most territorial.
Right.
So they're like the defenders of cowboys, like even though they're not.
Are you
which
a
I think
real
are you a real, like they're gonna catch you? And I'm like, well, if I was like, well, it's kind of ironic because you wouldn't know the difference, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of funny you're asking me that question.
Yeah.
But anyways, the guy comes up to us and he's like, you guys a real cowboy? And Chancey like takes his hat off and he's like, oh no, sir, I'm a little sheep herder. That's all I do. And I was just at his ranch, like in Gillette, and it's like a massive, beautiful ranch. Family owned. They've been running it forever. Parents worked their ass off their whole life to do it.
Exactly.
Anyways, he's super humble about it, which is cool.
Very, very
It's
cool.
fun to find out cool things about people.
Right. Well, and it's
they don't
interesting.
tell you about it.
Right. Well, and it's interesting, and you and I talked about that because I like to do my research to some level, but like you said, what's the interest in having a conversation if you already know everything about me? Right?
Yeah, that's the point of a conversation.
Yeah. So, and I tell everybody I'm an Idaho farm boy that always wanted to be a cowboy. So I got lucky enough to, my dad made some great money in the 70s, and he was able to buy us good horses and get us good help. And I used to come over here to Boise and over to Bob Johnson's on Chicken Dinner Road and learn how to rope calves. That's D. Pickett's ex-father-in-law.
Okay.
And he's gone now, but we learned from really talented guys, right?
It's a really tough thing to get into. Like if you're not born into it.
Oh yeah.
And it does get a little bit territorial at times. Like it's difficult you're gonna have to deal with some public shaming for a minute, if you don't know what you're doing. Especially if you're talking like you know what you're doing. I'm all for putting somebody in their place if they start to bump in their gums.
Yeah.
But even if you don't do that and you're like admittedly like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, I want to learn, it's still tough. People are pretty hard on you.
Oh yeah.
Which I get, like my family wasn't involved in cattle, horses, nothing at all. Like I totally kind of lucked into it. My sister married a horseshoer.
Okay.
And his family's a bunch of great horseshoers, and they're all kind of like from the panhandle of Texas.
Okay.
And so I kind of stumbled into it that way. And then he was like my older brother. He taught me how to swing a rope and all that. Shoe horses. And so I learned a lot from him, but I was like any other little kid. Like, I love the cowboy thing. And then you kind of meander. I got super into, I played a lot of sports and played some basketball in college. But I got super into like skateboarding and wakeboarding and motocross and a lot of that stuff.
Right.
So it wasn't until I graduated high school and then I started shoeing horses pretty hard that I really got into it. So I had to deal with a lot of, people kind of looking at you funny because you're just trying to learn.
Right.
But it takes like a strong personality and like a confident person to like just go for something, learn something you don't know how to do, be willing to be embarrassed. Like, holy cow, most people go through their entire life and never do anything new. They never try to do anything outside of their comfort zone. Their whole life.
Right.
So I got a lot of empathy. I really respect people that like just go for something, do something, be uncomfortable.
Well, people thought this was weird for us.
Sure.
How do you get into music? Listen, we've been into music, live music, for our whole married life. We've been married 43 years. We had a live band at our wedding reception. In fact, he's the very first guy I interviewed. His dad and grandpa and uncle played at our wedding.
Yeah.
And so a kid named Heath Clark, who's now in Nashville, but he just cut a record. He's going to release it on the 13th. But he was my first interview on the podcast. And I thought, if I can sit down with Heath and have this conversation and, because I know a little bit about music, but I don't know a ton. But I know what I like and I know who I like. And we've followed, the Texas country music scene and the Red Dirt deal for forever, right? And so we know what we like, and so we've just slowly but surely built our following and the artists that we've been able to reach out to and get interviews with. And everybody wants to know, well, how do you do that? You just reach out to Jarrod Morris and say, hey, would you sit down with me on a podcast?
Sure.
And that's the other thing that our listeners need to understand is that you are a podcaster yourself. So you're a very well-rounded guy, right? You're a horseshoer, you're a singer, a songwriter, a musician. You are
a podcaster. How did that? Well, we got to back up because we got to start back to the music thing because that's really when did you pick up the guitar and start playing?
Yeah, I mean, the music was kind of the backdrop for everything you do growing up. At least with my friends and my family. My dad had like really, really good musical taste, but it wasn't necessarily like country stuff.
Sure,
it was a ton of like. There was a lot of blues.
Okay,
a lot of blues. So I got some of the Texas blues stuff. I got some Southern rock in there.
Who's Southern rock?
I even think more like Allman Brothers. A lot of people just immediately go to Skinnerd or something.
Yeah. You have a mention of one of my favorite bands in
Marshall Tucker.
Yeah.
So there was some of that.
Yeah.
And then there was like Eric Clapton. There was a lot of Bob Seger. There was John Mellencamp. And then like in high school, I got into more of like I listened to a bunch of Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
But geographically where I grew up, it's just a ton of Texas country, and every store and place you walk into is like Brooks and Dunn or George Strait or Alan Jackson.
Well, and every little country store has a stage, and there's somebody there playing on the weekends. I mean,
You know. And so it wasn't until a little like probably when I got closer to college that I started to discover the songwriting thing a little more. You start to discover the people behind the songs, the guys who actually wrote the songs.
Yeah.
Then I got more into folk music.
Okay.
So there was it's actually a guy named Jacob Dylan, who's Bob Dylan's son.
Okay.
He was the lead singer for a band called the Wallflowers.
Yeah.
And then he put out like a country folk record, like might have been 2010 or something, 2009. And that was like really got me more into the folky thing. I remember that, like I just loved that record. There was a guy named T-Bone Burnett that produced it. And he did a lot of stuff with like Ryan Bingham and stuff like that. He's done a ton of work with a bunch of people. So I just got a little bit more into the folky thing. And then that's how I grew to appreciate a little bit more of the country stuff. Because especially at that time, country was like the bro country thing was basically happening. Yeah. And so it's like, I loved all the 90s stuff. And then early 2000s was pretty good. Then it started to get like really hokey and then really corny. And then you had bro country and I wasn't into that. So it was like there was a period of time that like... Yeah.
Well, I tell everybody the music I grew up on in the 70s, probably closer to your dad's age. You know, I don't know how old's your dad, but, you know, I grew up on the Eagles and Creedence Clearwater. And those guys are more country than
a lot of stuff. Country is. Well, some of the stuff now, for sure.
Well, and you've got some new resurgence. I mean, you know, Cody Johnson's pretty country. Zach Top, pretty country. You know, I mean,
Zach Top's pretty country. Like even, a lot of Cody's records, I mean, those are rocking.
Yeah.
Like the songs are country.
They're a little edgy.
The songs are country. Well, I just mean the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Like the drums, it's very drum heavy.
Yeah.
They're mixed like a metal rock drums, which is like, but that gets into like the technical side of stuff. The way people perceive things is often different than like the way it's actually done.
Right.
So
well, and I loved your interview with Jinx and also with Parker. You and Parker had a really cool exchange about that very thing, about the sounds of country and sometimes how things are mixed and how the drums kind of I don't know. I'm more of a less drums and more guitar. I love the strings. I love the guitar, and I love the old school Texas songwriters. You know, Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt. You know, and Lyle Lovett has some really cool stuff. But Lyle does. I've seen every iteration of Lyle, from him and Robert Wilson on the stage to the big band, you know, so very different, but scenario, you know, it just depends on the venue that he's playing and stuff. So, but you cut if I know this right, you cut your first album, which is released in 19, right?
Yep.
West of East.
Yep.
Great album.
Thanks.
Yeah, a ton of great music on there, man. I mean, I love the cover photo. Lighting a cigarette with a shoe right out of the forge.
Yeah.
And most people don't understand that, but that shoe is as red hot as it looks. It came out of the fire.
Yeah.
And I heard you tell somebody that story. What you did that, and then the photographer goes, "Hey, can you do that again? Is that right?" Or
well, because I don't know. I didn't know what to do for my first photo shoot. And my thing since I started has always just been like authenticity.
Sure.
Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's even came with like some things that probably didn't make sense from like a marketing or branding standpoint. There's some stuff that I've done that like people are like, well, that's a little different. I don't know. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's me. Like it's going to be a little bit different. I think the first time people maybe meet me or talk to me, they're like expecting, especially with that album cover, you've got this like dude lighting a cigarette on a hot horseshoe.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm a horseshoer. I'm out of the cowboy world. Like even some of my music like has a little bit of darkness to it and stuff. But like me as a person, I don't take myself that serious. That all seems like pretty serious.
Yeah.
And then like even the live show and stuff, like I like to have a good time and
sure,
like to play some fun stuff. I like to have some energy. I'm probably like a cross between, I'm not like the stoic, like elbow on my guitar, country singer crooner guy. Like I'm not that.
Right.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Sure.
But then I'm also not like freaking jumping off the top of the thing, doing backflips and taking my shirt off.
Yeah,
like I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
So it's like, I like to jam. I feel the music. No. I mean, yeah. And he actually, like, it's funny, like the Co's able to get people around him and the crowds to do things that he might not actually do.
Oh yeah, no,
which is interesting. That means you're like, so he has like an element of like classiness to himself, but he can get people fired up.
Oh no, he has a very interesting following. I've seen Co live multiple times.
It's pretty cool.
His following's a little rougher than some.
Yeah, they'll party.
Yeah, they like to party, and Co does too. But no, we just love the whole deal. But that first album had some great stuff on it. I mean, and it was all original.
Yeah.
Both your albums. You did 23 Running on Change.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All original stuff. You didn't do. Now you did some covers, so you've got some singles that have been released that are covers that are really cool.
Yeah, they're really weird. I wouldn't say they're. It's interesting. They're covers, but
they're your version of a cover. But let's talk a little bit about some of those songs, because these are bands that I didn't normally listen to, right? Yeah. So, what was I'm trying to remember. The title of some of those songs, those covers.
There was a few. There's a Foo Fighters one. There's a Jimmy World one.
That's
that I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I listened to all of them, and they're all really cool. They're all very unique. But I hear that, and I go, "Oh hell, that's who did that."
Well, I'll get some people that think I wrote them. Like, they don't even know it's that song. You know, like the one that popped off and like went viral on Instagram and stuff was a Rihanna cover. So like the hip hop girl, Rihanna. She's got a song called Desperado.
Oh, that's the one. I love that. I love your version of that.
Yeah, and some people think, I've even had people think I like wrote it for her, which is funny.
No, there's like 8 people have writing credits on that song, right? Yeah. That was because I've gotten into that since we're into the songwriter scene. We know how important that is, right? That the right guy gets the right credit, and so, but your first album was, great. Stampede, that's a great song.
Thanks.
In fact, I turned some friends of mine onto, I told them I was coming over to interview, and I said, Jarrod Morris? And I go, no. I said, listen to his album, West of East. And a buddy called me this morning, and he goes, dude, that Stampede is phenomenal.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
But Coyote, that's another great song. Red Bandana, they're all good.
Thank you.
That whole album is phenomenal.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Didn't get to listen to Running on Change as much because I kind of got hung up on that first one. So
yeah, sure.
But it's cool. Well, so let's back up a little bit. You're married. Your wife is a barrel horse trainer.
Yeah.
That's so you got a full-time job just shoeing her horses, don't you?
She doesn't have as many anymore. There for a little while. Yeah, she had quite a few. She slowed down a little bit purposefully. Me doing a lot of this stuff, being gone so much.
Sure. You have children?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But we ended up downsizing pretty significantly like a few years ago. And so we've, pretty much poured everything into this.
Sure. Well, this is like anything. It's an investment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of money.
And so I got, hopefully, I do well. So, we like sold our house, we sold our trucks and all that. And, just poured it all in. So that's badass that she's willing to like grind like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can go shoe horses and make a really good living.
Oh no, you can. Well, and I think back 45 years ago when I got done at horseshoeing school, we asked them, said, man, how much do we charge? Yeah. And they said, boy, unless they grab their heart and take 2 steps back, you ain't charging them enough. Yeah. And so, back in those days, we were getting $30, $35. I don't know what you're getting now, $100 a quarter or more. Depends on what you're doing, right? Yeah. If If you're running.
Well, I was just outside of Vail a couple weeks ago talking to some guys that shoe over there, and they're getting like, he told me they get $300 just to trim one.
What?
Yeah, they get $500 for a full set. But that's in tourist
Vail. Big touristy Vail.
Yeah, they're like doing it for billionaires.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
so I don't get that. That's
no, but you're in that country. You're doing some reiners and some barrel horses, and those guys are pretty particular. And
they'll pay for sure. I mean, different disciplines will pay a little bit more. Sure. Like I always did a lot of fraternity barrel horses. Okay, a bunch of young barrel horses.
Yeah.
So, they were always pretty good to work for. But you had to deal with a lot of horses that just weren't very broke, and then they're inherently just super hot blooded.
Right.
They're just.
And then you've got some owners that are a little hard to deal with.
Yeah, the owners
get a little hot too.
Horse owners in general are just
a handful.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And
if that offends you, that means you're one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, the other interview you did on your podcast was William Clark Green. I love that.
Oh,
that was a great interview.
Thanks.
First time we saw William Clark Green was at the Braun Brothers reunion about 10 years ago. And that's where we found our love for a lot of new artists, right? That's where we saw Parker the first time. Parker rolled in a van. It was before Parker was anybody, right? And they let him sit up on stage and play one or two songs in their guitar pull on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so, and then look what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's blown up.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
Yeah. There's some other great artists out there that are.
Yeah, so Parker, I was able to, I went on the road with him for like 3 or 4 days to write songs.
Oh, wow.
And we wrote quite a few songs and hung out and stuff. And then it was like a month later, because he was working on a new record. And then a month later, he texted me and he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm going to cut that song, one of those songs that we did." And I was like, "No kidding." So his newest single, actually, it's called Big Sky.
Okay.
That's one that I co-wrote with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we co-wrote it with his keys player, too. His name's Charlie. And he's been with Parker for freaking 10 years. And he's like classically trained. I think he has his doctorate in piano and stuff.
Oh, really?
He's been with Parker for a long time, and he's never got a co-write with him at all.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool, too.
That's really cool. Well, that's the edge you need, right? As a songwriter, you need that cut with Parker or
it was a really
right?
big deal, and he doesn't need me. Like,
oh no,
he's already written like a bunch of massive songs himself, and he's got access to the biggest writers in the world. And make no mistake, every record label and big publishing company is.
Oh, and all the writers are all wanting that opportunity for a Parker cut.
And so my name pops up on that, and everybody's like, who is this? What is going on here? So that says more about him than me, honestly.
Well, and that's kind of
he would give me the time of day
that I got from him. I've never met him, but
I mean, he looks like a supermodel, and he's super talented. I mean that in the nicest of ways.
He's a handsome kid.
He's great. He takes care of himself. He's an incredible singer. He works hard on the music. He cares. And so some people are intimidated by that.
Right.
And which typically means they're just jealous.
Oh, sure.
And so there might be people that like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like him." And it's like, it's just because you don't even like yourself.
Yeah. Well, there's some truth to that. And I know that there's a lot goes on in that world. We've been exposed to a lot and learned a lot in a short period of time, and I still know about that much about the music business. But it's cool, and most people that we've found that we've had the opportunity to interview have been very approachable, like yourself, and it's been nice to meet a lot of artists that are that way, and we got to spend some time in Nashville and interviewed some Hall of Fame songwriters and that have hits with those guys, well, like we talked, Bryce Long, what a great guy, talented guy, works with Chancey, and Chancey was just as nice as he could be, and Core Blund, same deal, so it's been really fun. I know we kind of got backed up today on our timeline. We appreciate you taking time to visit with us.
Absolutely.
Man, I wish we had more time, but it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Will you do me a favor and grab that guitar and play us a little tune? Kind of set it up, maybe play something that
well, let's see I don't know what it's going to sound like, but
we'll do what we can with it.
This is called Falling in Love All Alone. Cracks in the canyon
Hand on the high plains, a beautiful day, but it's damned. We're lost in the light of everything brighter, tracing the lay of the land. And I'm in my head, I'm on my own. The hell is the point of these telephone poles? Out on this highway, no one beside me, falling in love all alone. Signs of the old west, a vacancy, sunset, saddled up high until dawn. Watch what you pray, 'cause mud comes with rain. It's the lonesomest version of gone. Almost a town, always a ghost. Who the hell mows the grass growing over railroads? Out on this highway, no one beside me, falling in love all alone. La-dee-da, la-dee-da, la-dee-da. There's always a girl, always a last time, always a dream worth a shot. Knowing you're not the first one to feel it, just the last one to realize you're not. Yeah, I'm in my head, I'm on my own. The road plays the rhythm of an old kindred soul. I'm out on this highway, no one beside me, falling in love all alone. Yeah, I'm out on this highway, no one beside me, falling in love all alone.
Awesome. Thank you so very much.
I actually wrote that with Parker's brother.
Oh, you did?
Tyler,
Hang on.
Tyler McCollum.
I need you to sign that. So, you know Rio Tripiano, the guitar player from Texas?
No.
He's from New Braunfels. Hangs out with Jade Marie Patek quite a bit.
Okay.
You know Jade Marie?
Not well.
Yeah, there's so many artists down there.
Yeah.
You guys all, I talk to a lot of artists.
And everybody's kind of a lone wolf too.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I've heard of that guy. Maybe saw him on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know a ton of people. I'm not super well connected. Yeah. But there's a bunch of them down there.
You know some great ones. I mean,
Yeah.
you scored some awesome podcast interviews. If you guys, where can they find your music and your podcast? Let's talk real quick about that.
On the internet.
Just
Yeah.
under
My name.
Jarrod
Just
Morris,
Google it.
Jarrod Morris Vibe.
It'll all pop up.
Yeah. The podcast is Jarrod Morris Vibe.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Jarrod Morris music is on Spotify, is everywhere. Go look up these albums, man. I'm telling you, West of East. That's a great.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good music out there too. Just be open-minded.
Yeah.
Be willing to listen to new stuff, even if it's not popular yet.
And when you go, and I tell people all the time, when you come to the shows, support the shows, visit the merch table.
Sure. Yeah.
That helps keep the gas.
Yeah, honestly, you buy a ticket and come out, man, you're doing plenty.
Yeah.
Just have a beer and buy a ticket.
Well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate what you guys do to entertain the world, and we appreciate your craft. I really appreciate your talent as a horseshoer.
Thanks, man.
I watched you shoe Nemo. You had
Oh,
Nemo
yeah,
video.
that's
I
right.
watched you
Yeah,
shoe Nemo and the
yeah.
little girl. That was pretty cute.
Yeah.
That was cool. Well, Jarrod, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Man, this has been a blast. We look forward to seeing you somewhere else down the road. I hope.
Likewise. Thanks for making the effort.
Hey,
See
from
y'all.
Musical Miles Podcast, I'm your host, Byron Duff, and here with Jarrod Morris. We're in Boise, Idaho. We are at the
Heritage
Heritage Social Club.
Yep.
And, thanks
Cool place.
again.
Yep.
All right.
Adios.
Cool. We'll see you.